Welcome to the Fashion Algorithm. Today, we're diving into something pretty big that's changing how you find clothes online generative AI in fashion e-commerce.
Yeah, it's a huge shift.
We want this to be your kind of shortcut to understanding, how AI is reshaping the connection between brands and shoppers like you.
Exactly. We've sifted through quite a bit of research, a whole stack of sources, really, to pull out the most crucial bits.
Right.
Our mission here is to figure out how fashion retailers can, well, optimize their online shops for these new AI tools and how you might actually discover things now.
It's definitely moved past the old ways.
Oh, totally. It's way beyond just old school SEO.
Yeah, it's not just about matching keywords anymore, is it? AI is getting really smart about understanding the meaning behind your search, the visual stuff you like, and even your past shopping habits.
That semantic understanding is key.
Yeah.
And the visual context, absolutely. Plus, the real-time behavioral data feed into it.
And the speed. I saw something about that. AI crawlers need sites to load way faster.
Yeah, that's a fascinating point. Traditional SEO gives you maybe 3 to 7 seconds, which is already pretty quick.
Okay.
But these AI crawlers, they often expect pages to load in like 1 to 5 seconds. It puts a massive emphasis on performance.
Wow. And it's not just raw speed, it's the underlying code too, right? Like clean HTML.
Precisely. AI seems to prefer clean HTML with semantic tags, things like article or aside. They seem to understand that structure better than, say, really complex JavaScript-heavy pages.
Which can sometimes slow things down or make content harder for bots to parse anyway.
Exactly. And think about how we look for clothes. Increasingly, it's visual.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I read that over 62% of Gen Z shoppers actually prefer visual search now. So those product images, they're not just for us anymore.
So they need AI-friendly descriptions, metadata, alt text, all that.
Absolutely. Optimized image metadata is becoming critical.
Okay, so let's get specific. How about Google Gemini? What should brands be doing there?
Right, Gemini. Its strength is really in understanding both text and images. So the strategy is all about detail.
Detail in the descriptions.
Yeah, hyper-detailed product descriptions. Instead of just, midi dress, you need something like midi dress with V-neck and 97% organic cotton, adding those rich attributes. Well, reports suggest it can improve match accuracy by something like 47%.
47%, that's huge. It's like feeding the AI exactly what it needs.
You got it. The more specifics, the better the match. And it goes for images, too.
How so? With the images?
Well, you can use Google's Vision API tags.
Okay.
Basically, you're telling the AI explicitly what's in the image, colors, patterns, styles. ASOS apparently saw I think it was a 22% conversion lift after doing this. Makes the visual detail searchable for the AI.
Okay, so structured visual data is key. And Gemini compares prices in real time, too.
Yes, exactly. Which means dynamic pricing feeds are pretty much essential now.
Updating how often?
Ideally, hourly. And you need to include metadata about discount eligibility. Gemini prioritizes those real-time comparisons.
Got it. So, constant updates and clarity on price. Now, what about Perplexity's Sonar? That one's a bit different, isn't it? Ad-free, focuses on citations.
Yeah, Perplexity has a distinct model. It's less about ads and more about citing sources. For brands, this means credibility and detail are paramount.
So how do you build that credibility for Sonar?
Well, visuals still matter a lot. Listings with, say, 5 or more high-res images plus video demos, they tend to get cited about 3 times more often in Sonar's answers.
Okay, so rich media helps. What else?
Third-party validation. Sonar gives roughly 1.8 times more weight to verified testimonials.
So things like magazine reviews or customer photos.
Exactly, including expert reviews, maybe from Vogue, or user-generated content, and crucially, marking it up with schema so Sonar knows it's a review that really helps. Verified stuff carries more weight.
That makes sense. I also heard about an outfit recreation tool. How does that work?
Yeah, that's interesting. It looks at the relationships between products in a catalog.
So like what goes with what?
Precisely. If you can optimize your product data to show those connections like this bill pairs well with 83% of our denim collection, Sonar can use that info when someone tries to recreate an outfit look. It helps suggest your products.
Clever way to drive cross-sells. Okay, next up, Anthropic's Claude. Claude 3 Opus, specifically. It's good at trends, right?
Very good. Trend analysis, even inventory forecasting. It excels at processing and summarizing longer content.
So blog posts, lookbooks?
Yes. The key is optimizing that content. Use really clear headers, like 2025 spring color palettes, and embed product IDs directly within the text.
Why the embedded IDs?
It makes it much easier for Claude to connect the trend information directly to the specific products being discussed. Reports show it's about twice as effective for summarization compared to GPT-4 even.
That's impressive efficiency. And Zara used Claude for inventory, didn't they?
Yeah, that was a big one. They reportedly cut overstock by 34% using Claude.
How? By analyzing social media.
Exactly. Analyzing visuals on social media to predict demand for certain styles.
Hmm.
It's about catching those early trend signals from images.
Okay, so those are some platform specifics. Are there broader techniques that help with AI ranking generally?
Oh, definitely. Semantic image tagging is a really big one across the board.
Like those really detailed descriptions we talked about for Gemini?
Even more granular sometimes. Think attribute level tagging, adding maybe 10 to 15 specific descriptors per image like ruffled sleeve, empire waist, ankle length.
That's specific.
Yeah. Tools like Sizebay's fashion image search demonstrate that level of detail. It's shown improvements in visual search match rates up to nearly 94%.
Wow, okay. Almost perfect matching.
Pretty close. And another thing is adding contextual metadata.
Contextual, like where you'd wear it.
Exactly. Using schema.org specifically, the image.context property lets you link product images to usage scenarios. Tagging a dress as a wedding guest dress or beach cover-up gives the AI valuable context beyond just what the item is.
Right. That makes sense. And what about personalization? AI is changing that too.
Hugely. Generative AI allows for what you might call micro-segmentation. It's much more granular than before.
Can you give an example?
Sure. ASOS, again, they cluster shoppers into over 200 groups. Things like sustainable minimalist or bold pattern lovers based on browsing, cart data, everything.
200 groups.
Yeah. And tailoring recommendations to those groups reportedly lifted their average order value by 19%.
That's significant. And suggesting whole outfits dynamically.
Yeah, dynamic bundling. Using tools like OpenAI Operator, you can suggest outfit combos in real time based on what's in the cart. That's apparently boosted cross-sell revenue by over 30% for some retailers.
Okay, one more core area. The product feeds themselves, the basic data file. How does that need to change?
Structure. Complying with standards like Google's product feed specifications is baseline. But now, you should think about AI-specific extensions. Well, imagine adding tags for specific AI segments, like a Sigma Sustainable Minimalista segment, or having a clear field for discount percentage. It helps the AI process and use the information more effectively.
And inventory needs to be spot on.
Absolutely critical. Real-time inventory sync. Perplexity, for instance, might actually penalize listings if the stock data has more than a 2-hour latency. Accuracy and timeliness are non-negotiable.
So, lots to do. It sounds like brands could easily miss some of these things. What are the common pitfalls?
You'd be surprised. A really common one is just blocking the AI crawlers.
Blocking them? Wow.
Sometimes accidentally, through the robots.txt file. But data suggests around 41% of fashion sites might be doing this.
Wow. So their products just aren't discoverable by these new systems.
Pretty much. The fix is usually simple. Allow Google Extended and Perplexity Bot in robots.txt, maybe whitelist their IPs, but you have to check.
Okay, that's a big one to watch out for. What else?
Neglecting mobile visuals. That's kind of ironic. Well, AI shoppers use mobile for like 78% of visual searches. But something like 63% of product images aren't properly optimized for mobile screens. They look stretched or cropped badly.
Ah, right. So you need responsive images.
Yes, using Circan for different sizes.
Yeah.
And maybe even including specific mobile-first views or crops.
Yeah.
The visual experience on mobile is crucial for AI and human shoppers.
Makes sense. And static product descriptions, is that a problem too?
Definitely. Gemini, for example, tends to deprioritize listings if the description hasn't changed in over 30 days.
Why is that?
It probably sees it as potentially stale information, the fix. Use AI tools like GPT-4 to generate fresh description variants each month. Keep it current. Maybe lightweight linen blazer becomes breathable summer suiting next month.
Keep it fresh. Okay, this is a lot for fashion teams to adapt to. How should they actually change their workflows?
It starts with auditing, really. Understanding how you look to AI right now.
Using what?
There are tools emerging. Andy Search lets you test how AI might summarize your pages. Firecrawl helps monitor crawler access. And for images, SizeB's visual search simulator helps validate your tagging strategy. You need visibility into the AI's perspective.
And what about content creation? Does that change?
It does. Think about repurposing. Claude, as we said, likes video transcripts for trends. So take a blog post, turn it into a, say, 90-second TikTok script with product links embedded.
Smart. Making content work harder across platforms.
Exactly. And user-generated content, UGC, becomes even more important. Curating it, yes, but crucially, getting explicit licensing metadata sorted.
Why the focus on licensing?
Because platforms like Perplexity are showing that shoppers trust customer photos way more, like 4 times more than studio shots. But you need the rights to use that content properly.
Got it. So new workflows, new content strategies. Does this mean new jobs?
Quite possibly. We could see roles like a feed integrity manager focus purely on data accuracy for AI, or a visual search analyst optimizing image tags all day. Maybe even an AI CRM specialist using Claude's insights to personalize emails and campaigns.
The structure of the team itself might need to evolve.
I think so, yeah.
Can we look at a couple of brands again that are doing this well? ASOS, for example.
Yeah, ASOS is a great case study. Their AI recommendation engine processes something like 8.5 million interactions daily,
Wow.
and it pays off. They've apparently seen a 6.6% drop in returns, partly due to better AI-driven size predictions. And that complete look dynamic bundling, that boosted conversion rates by 14%.
Those are solid numbers. And Zara, we mentioned their inventory success. Anything else?
It's really about their overall agility enabled by AI, analyzing Instagram, Pinterest trends, getting those styles into production super fast. It all contributes to that 34% overstock reduction and the 22% higher sell-through rate. AI fuels their fast fashion model.
So let's try and wrap this up. If you had to boil it down, what are the absolute key takeaways for our listeners about AI in fashion e-commerce?
Okay, 3 main things, I think. First, it's the synergy. You need both visual and semantic optimization. They work together for AI.
Yeah.
Second, platform-specific strategies matter. How you optimize for Gemini isn't exactly the same as for Perplexity or Claude. You need to tailor your approach.
Understand the nuances of each AI.
Exactly. And third, organizational agility. Teams need to be ready to test, learn, and adapt quickly because this tech is evolving fast.
And for brands that really lean into this, the potential upside is pretty big.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking potentially a 30 to 50% improvement in AI-driven traffic and discovery within, say, the next 12 months if they implement these strategies effectively.
It really does feel like a fundamental shift. So, a final thought for everyone listening. Given how fast AI is moving, what other, maybe surprising ways do you think it might reshape how you shop for fashion in the coming years?
Or maybe, thinking about a brand, what's one immediate step they could take, based on what we've discussed, to boost their AI visibility right now?
Lots to think about. And if you're interested in practical tools for this new landscape, especially connecting influencer content directly to your inventory to make it instantly shoppable, definitely check out our sponsor, Cloutfit.ai. That's CLOUTFIT.ai. It's a really interesting platform for driving sales from that kind of content.
Yeah, bridging that gap between inspiration and purchase is key.
Absolutely. If you found this deep dive useful, please do share it with colleagues or friends in the industry, and make sure you subscribe to the Fashion Algorithm for more discussions like this. Thanks so much for tuning in.